Welcome back to the Morristown Market Report. I'm Amy Schrader with Remax Real Estate 10.
And I'm Kim Swan with Union Home Mortgage.
Our special guest today is Joe Cox. He is the owner and operator of Friendly Neighborhood Plumber. Thank you, Joe, for being here today.
Yeah, thank you, ladies, for having me here. Thank you for the opportunity.
Well, you're very welcome. All right, so you are a licensed plumber. Kind of give us a rundown of like what areas you cover, what services you can offer, that type of thing.
We're based out of Knoxville, but we do a 2-hour service radius of Knoxville, so anywhere within 2 hours we can get to you.
Okay.
And we handle all things plumbing related, so water lines, drain lines, water heaters, water filtration systems, toilets, any sort of upgrades or service maintenance you want to do to your home. I'm the guy to do it.
Okay. All right. So, let's say I've got a buyer and we've done a home inspection and they say we need to get a licensed plumber to look at, some of the plumbing to make sure it's working properly.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something that you can help people out
absolutely. With? I love trying to partner with real estate agents everywhere for that. It's a great partnership to have.
Okay. All right. And do you do commercial plumbing, residential plumbing?
Yeah. So what we cover, we specialize in commercial and residential, new construction and service. So whether it's a building or a home, whether you need to have it built or have some service done on it, we can handle that.
Okay. So you're just the one-stop
shop.
shop.
Yeah, try to be.
All right. So I know we were kind of talking beforehand, and you said you can't really do anything as far as like a well goes unless somebody's trying to hook up to public water from that well.
Yeah, I can disconnect from a well and hook up, but as far as maintaining or servicing a well or a septic tank, that I'm not licensed for that yet. But
okay. But now, if somebody needed a sewer inspection, you can do those.
Oh,
correct?
Certainly, yes, ma'am.
Tell us about that technology that you use for that.
So the camera that I use is a $15,000 camera, and honestly, that's the cheaper end of those things. They go way up there. But there are 2 ways you can access your main drain line. One way you can do that is by pulling a toilet and then accessing it from there. Another way is access through a clean out, which is access point to your main sewer line in your yard.
So is that like a real-time thing? As you're sending the camera down, you can kind of see everything that camera's encountering?
Oh yeah, it's pretty intricate. It's as good as a smartphone, the resolution on that thing, so you can see every nook and cranny.
And things you probably don't want to see.
And things you don't want to see, yep.
I'm sure. All right, so what kind of separates you from the next guy that's a plumber? Why should people call you?
People should call me because I'm the heart of small business. It's just me, myself, and I running this. My fiance Abby she got everything in line for me to take my test, for me to pay for my licensing, and for me to go ahead and take this next step. But as far as me versus corporate America, I don't have $20,000 to $40,000 worth of overhead that I have to meet. It's just, I own everything, and I'm not in a crazy amount of debt like all these other people are. So I'm able to pass that along and to be a little bit more detailed and make it feel a little bit more like a friend or a neighbor.
Like you said, your friendly neighborhood plumber.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so if people need to get a hold of you for a job, how do they contact you?
The best way to contact me is either by phone or email. My phone number is 865-443-7617. I also have a Facebook page, Friendly Neighborhood Plumber. And the email is joe@friendlyneighborhoodplumber.com.
So pretty easy to remember.
Mm-hmm.
And we will post that info in the comments section after the live is over for you. But again, if you just look on Facebook for Friendly Neighborhood Plumber, you're going to find Joe here. All right. So is there anything else about your business that you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, so we're not even a year in yet. So we just started in February. I got my license, I think, at the end of January, and there's about a month long worth of paperwork I had to do. So yeah. I count the end of February as my official start date.
Okay.
And we've been doing really good. I've been trying really hard to market myself and put myself out there, and I think that the 2-hour service radius of Knoxville, not many companies will go 2 hours outside of their main city. Mm-hmm. So I think that's a really good help.
Yeah, and I mean, rural areas,
Mhm.
that's usually where you're going to get your most loyal customers, to be honest. Because if I know if a plumber comes to my house or any kind of service tech and they do what they tell me they're going to do and they, quote me a price and that's the price I pay, they've got my loyalty. Like, that's who I'm going to be calling. That's who I'm going to be telling my clients to call. So it does mean a lot.
This post-pandemic era, in the service industry like mine, electrical, HVAC, plumbing, or any sort of skilled trade, I've heard all kinds of talk on the radio. If you do what you say you're going to do, show up when you say you're going to show up, and charge what you say you're going to charge up front, you can't beat, you're going to have to beat the customers off you because
you really are.
It's hard to find.
Yeah, I mean, anymore, I'll have people call me looking for a recommendation for some kind of service person, and they're like, I've called 5 people, and 2 of them never showed up, and 1 of them was late, and one said he'd get back to me with the quote and never did, and I'm like, I get it. Like, it's just hard right now.
It's hard, definitely. So.
All right, so this is a question that we ask everybody that comes on the show, and I don't know how old you are, so I don't even know if you can answer this question or not. But
I don't think he can.
I know. I'm looking at him, and I'm like, he looks like he's 18, so I don't know. But if you could go back in time, or maybe for you, go back to the future, and give your 21-year-old self a piece of advice, what would that be?
To stay with the work ethic. Don't take others' opinions of myself to heart, and to stay with my work ethic and what I find is true. Stay true to myself is something.
Very good.
Trying to impress others and do something to make others think a certain way of me has, certainly guilty of that, as a 21-year-old self. That was 9 years ago. So,
really?
Yeah, I'm almost 30.
Honey, you look good for that age. I'd never thought it. Of course, when you get to be Monty Kim's age, everybody looks like they're 18. So,
yeah.
Anyway, all right. Well, that is very good advice to give your former self, because I think a lot of us, especially at that 21-year-old age, you're trying to be what everybody wants you to be. And then when you figure out if you just do what you want to do, you're so much happier in life.
Definitely I was definitely easily impressionable, is that the word? Impressionable 21-year-old, so I thought a lot of what people thought of me and the image I was projecting. So if I would have just, steered clear to that a little bit and stayed focused on what I wanted, I probably would have started my business 3 or 4 years earlier.
I can understand that completely. All right, Joe. Well, we certainly appreciate you being on here with us today.
Nice to meet you.
We're going to let you head to your next appointment while we talk about some mortgages and market rates, okay?
Thank you, ladies, for the opportunity.
All right. Thank you. We appreciate it. All right, Kim, what can you tell me about mortgage rates today?
Well, we're still, of course, we just want to talk about THDA because, it's 5.875 or 5.375. That's still the best option out there right now. Conventional FHA, VA, now you're looking in the low 7s right now. That's a 30-year fixed rate.
Right. So I know you're like me. We try to tune in to the, experts, but do you see any lowering of the rates anytime soon? Do you think they're going to come down?
Probably like you, I follow a couple sites, and right now, no, there's not really any indication. Union Home is actually having, I think I sent you a link to it. We've got an expert coming next week doing a Zoom call, or, that I think it's on Wednesday, that's supposed to give us some information. He was actually on the housing committee when Obama was there, so he's worked through the 2008 housing crisis. So I think he'll have some good information for all realtors and potential borrowers that want to watch it as well. Just let me know and send you a link. But
and I got your evite, but I'm gonna be on vacation next week, so I'm gonna be participating there.
I'll give you an update. We'll update here the next week. How's that?
There you go. You can keep me informed on what's going on. But
gotcha.
I mean, and we've talked about this before. I mean, you threw out there about Obama and the 2008 mortgage crisis and all that. And we're not really in a crisis. It's just rates are high, housing prices are high, inventory is low. It's a storm I don't think that anybody's ever had before with this mix of condition.
No, because we've both been in the mortgage business for a long time, or, real estate, whatever. And even back in 2008, you didn't have high rates and high prices. You know, you just had one or the other. So right now, when you're dealing with both, it just makes it difficult. You know, especially first time home buyers, and if you take someone depending on their income, they have a car payment. It's hard sometimes to get them qualified in the range that they need to be in to find the type of house they want. That's the biggest issue I see. And we just keep hoping that, we keep hearing that, affordable housing, we just keep hoping somebody's going to, through the government, obviously, come along and offer something. Because I'm sure you were dealing in this, you remember back when they gave you the
$8,000 first time home buyer tax credit.
Yes, thank you, yeah. Of course.
But here's the thing. I don't even know if that could help at this point. To me, the biggest problem with affordable housing is it's not affordable to buy, especially for the people in this area. You know what I'm saying? If you're making $15 an hour at a factory, it kind of prices you out of the market to be able to buy, especially if the rate's as high as it is.
Oh, yeah.
But we got a survey that came to us through the local realtor association this week. And it's a survey asking what we think our local and state governments could do to help affordable housing. And I'm like, you've got to offer some kind of incentive to builders to build affordable homes.
You're exactly right.
Used to, I know when I first started selling real estate, and it's really not been that long ago, but back in 2012, maybe the beginning of 2013, I helped a girl buy a brand new construction home. It was one level. It didn't have a garage, but it was probably 1,200 square feet, 3 bed, 2 bath, for $89,900. Brand new spanking home. You know what I'm saying? And
the interest rate was probably 3 or 4% too.
Yeah, it's definitely lower than it's 7%, but you can't find anything that's really move-in ready below what I'm going to say $175. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, and then, it's like they can't afford the rent because rent's going sky high. It's like, where do they expect people to be able to live?
I had somebody this week that their rent, it was a 2-bedroom apartment, and their rent was $1,050 a month. So,
Yeah.
And that's going up. And then I had another person who has been renting a house for 12 years, and he pays $475 a month. But now his landlord is going to sell his house, or actually is going to give the house to his granddaughter. So, he's got to do something.
Yeah. And I was lucky. The last time I was renting, I was in a house, and I knew from the get-go that I was getting a steal on this house. But I knew the landlord. She knew me. She knew I was going to take care of her house, that I wasn't going to destroy it. And, sometimes landlords know they have a good tenant in there, so they're not trying to rock the boat and raise the rent. But then if they ever sell it,
right,
then the shock of the new payment,
right,
can be bad.
It's there definitely. So,
but I will say this: if y'all have any suggestions that you would like for me to put on that survey that we're doing as an association, of what you think the local or state governments could do to help promote affordable housing in our specific area, send me a DM, leave a comment. I'd be happy to pass your comments along through that survey and see what happens with it.
Definitely, yeah. Well, I've actually got a contact in Tennessee state government, and I've got it on my list to give him a call this week just to say, hey, we need some help here. So hopefully,
yeah, we need the rates to come down. Is what we need. I think.
I still think if you had, because prices are not going to come down. Don't you agree? With the supply and demand thing we've talked about, so I don't think you're going to see prices come down. So if rates would come down, that would help offset prices not coming down.
Right, and I don't think prices are going to come down. I think that if rates would come down to the point that people who feel locked into their mortgage, are willing to look at the option of, okay, let's sell, buy another house, whatever.
Yeah.
When you can increase that inventory, then I think prices stabilize. You know what I mean? But right now, I've had 2 or 3 homes this month that I put on the market that went into a bidding war because there's nothing to buy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. So rates coming down are, I think, the key to it all. And of course, everybody changes their tune as time goes on because, they said initially, oh yeah, we think after July the rates are going to start steadily dropping and we'll be, below 6 by the end of the year.
Well, originally back early spring, or probably still winter of this year, I was told that they would come back down and be in the 4s by the end of the year.
I don't know that they're ever going to get back down to the 4s. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, we're just not going to talk to you then. She's wrong.
I don't know. But I do know this. The last year that I worked at SunTrust Mortgage was in 2009. That was when I quit. And interest rates had just dropped to like 4.5 or 4.25 on a 30-year, and we're below 4 on a 15-year. And everybody, it was funny to me. Like, if you've lived through it and you can look back on it, everybody's like, oh, you better hurry up and jump on that rate. It's not gonna last forever. You better hurry up and jump on that rate. It's not gonna last forever. And then it lasted for 10 years, 10, 12, 13 years. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that's what makes the interest rate we're at now such a struggle for people. It's not like we had a steady increase over, 3 or 4 years. It's like one day we were at 3.5 to 4, and within 3 months' time, we were pushing 7. And we've had fluctuations since then, up and down. But at the end of the day, it's a rough place to be for most people. It is
right now. It is. So we just So hopefully something will break so we can get some more people in homes.
Let's hope so. All right, so we will not be doing a Facebook Live next week because I'm going to be on vacation, but we'll be back with you the following week and bring you the latest market update for the Hamlin County area, and hopefully we'll have some good news when it comes to the mortgage rates. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.